every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another fine day here in Mission Control from Denver, Colorado. It's a pretty nice day out, not too shabby I can say. Sucks to be stuck inside and dealing with the way the world is currently, but things seem to be getting better across the world in general, so hopefully we'll all be able to go out and play again soon enough. I'm Cade. I'm here to do we're going to do some synergy stuff today. Sam kind of went over a lot of the same stuff this morning. I'm just going to kind of do it again in my style, and maybe it'll be, if you watched his, maybe I'll say something a little bit different that might help you out in the future, or just going over it a second time never hurt anybody. So, like I said, we're going to go over the synergy stuff today, and we'll start off with just go with our couple of slides here. Oops, and I forgot to delete this particular slide because this slide sucks, so we'll skip right over that. So one of the first things we're going to do in Synergy is setting up our Synergy fixtures. I've got an AI server here with Capture actually running on the same machine, as well as the Titan Go interface here. I have a mobile connected just so I can cheat a little bit and use the wheels that are on it as I need be to make things go a little bit easier. But this obviously will be on version 12 and higher. You'll have all this stuff here. Version 11 and below obviously is not going, 11.4 and below are obviously not going to have any of this, as it is all a version 12 plus feature set. So to move on into it, with our first thing we want to do is go ahead and open up our Synergy settings window. We look in our workspaces. One of the defaults that the console now gives for you is the Synergy settings. So if we click on that and open up Capture on top of it, we can see any available AI servers, as well as any screen fixtures I already have in my show file. I already have a screen fixture in this show file, so I can just hook it to it easily enough. And you can see that here, my server's name is CatoVision, and you can see that what software version it is running, as well as its IP and any other relevant items I need to know about the server itself, as well as the ability to turn NDI previews on and off, as Aaron went over in his video on Monday, and Sam also did this morning. So one of the first things we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and if we leave it with show unmatched, it doesn't show anything here. So if we had a server on that we weren't connecting to this one, we could turn that off so we wouldn't see it and clutter up our view. In this case, we can turn it on so we can see that we've got fixture 0 on CatoVision with 2 layers, and the link button, the chain looking button here would be the linking it together. So we go ahead and click on the link, and then which surface we want to link it to. We could do a new one, or we could link it to one of our already established ones, which is what we're going to go ahead and do on this show file, since I already have a screen fixture in it. So let's select that and give it a minute to do its thing. Doopy-doopy-doo. I don't know why it's going so slow all of a sudden. Just to make my life hard, probably. Oh boy. There we go. Just took its minute. Now we'll see that it is these two, this screen fixture is linked to output 2 on the CatoVision server. If we can also, some other buttons we can look around here, we can click this button if we wanted to unlink it and link it to a different server, or just unlink it completely. Trash bin, we could delete this fixture, which I don't want to do because I don't want to break some of its programming I already have here. If we hit the plus button, we can add a new screen fixture if we want, or just add more layers to the current surface we have. And actually, we'll go ahead and we'll just add another screen fixture for giggles, just so we can see how that looks. So if we select that and we add a second screen to it, we can select that screen, and now we can adjust things about it. We can set its resolution we need it to be. We can just leave it at 1920 by 1080 is fine. Hopefully Titan that's not going to act completely silly on me here. And then I could link that to which output on the server I want it to link to. I don't know why I went to 4. I should have one on 3 actually. And I was doing it to 4 and 3. Have you gone silly on me, or are you still working? You have gone silly on me. Okay, 1 second. Let's try to figure out why did you lose there. So we're going to go ahead and unlink both of these real quick, because apparently I did not pray to the demo gods long enough, and now we're having a everything acting silly. Just because that's computers for you, right? 1 moment. Anyone have any questions so far while I pause the mic and we all have a sip? Let's see here. We're still acting a little silly here, and I'm not quite exactly sure why. So we'll give it another moment to see if it wants to fix itself. It'll be hard to do anything from here if it doesn't. Let's try. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and restart Titan real quick. While we got that restarting, we'll just hold a moment here. Sorry, everybody. Didn't pray to the demo gods long enough, apparently. Should have made a larger sacrifice, perhaps. I don't know why we're acting silly here, but we are. I'm also going to restart AI on the AI machine here at the same time. Hopefully everything will come back and start playing correctly. But we'll see. What do you mean? So while all this is restarting, we'll go through some slides here. As we saw, we could do it. If we had no surfaces, we could link it. Basically just seeing all the same things we did just in a slide form now. Oh, golly gee willikers. It was all working all morning long. I tested this probably 5 different times. And of course, no, it didn't do it. Okay, here. 1 moment. I think we might be back up now. Let me just check one more thing. And all right, so I think we are back now. Hopefully it wants to behave correctly here. So we'll link our fixture 0 on the Cato Vision to our fixture 0 here. And hopefully everything has to continue to play nice. And we'll go with that for now. All right, so yeah, that seems to be working correctly. Really? Oh boy, maybe not. It's working, but my mobile is not working correctly. Here it seems. Really? This network's been fine all day long, and now it doesn't want to work. Bah. So it was, we'll just keep trying trudging through it here. Sorry, everybody. If we hit our plus button down here, we can also add a layer to our screen. We now see that we have 3 layers instead of 2. If we just select a layer, we can set a speed source for the layer to use particularly one of our BPM masters if we wanted, or one of our rate masters, which is handy for having syncing up effects between the server and the in between the server and playbacks. So if we continue on here, I'm going to actually, I wonder if the network traffic's just gotten too heavy and everything went to silliness for it. So if that might be the case, I'm going to shut down one of these, one of my NDI sources here and see if that cleans up the network. We might just be having too much going on, even though it was running all morning just fine. We'll just take one item out of the equation, and maybe that will help. So we said we can set our speed sources there. Once all that's set, we can then use AI to do things in the server. So we close that. If we go to our groups and palettes, remember that everything is done on a layout. This is very similar to the show file I've been using all along. However, I took out all of the QPix panels and added in some XBAR 4s just to use it that way instead. Got some silliness. There we go. That seems to fix that. So we remember that everything is done on group layouts, just like we talked about yesterday. I have a layout here called Synergy layout that I made specifically to be able to use Synergy with this. And I also got a layer 1 control of the Synergy fixture, just made one here in my group, so I can just control the Synergy fixture itself or the AI server itself. So, like I said, everything is made on group layouts. If we were to do group, edit group, select this particular group, and then edit layout, we could see how the fixtures, the only fixtures in that right now are the Roby Beam 150s that we have in the show file already, and you see they're already laid out. So since I added these impression XBAR 20s after the fact, I want to merge those into this group. So I can just select this group and then hit record and select this group and merge it. So now if I do group, edit group, select this one, and edit its layout, if I zoom on out, we can see that those X4 X bars, or X4 bar 20s, there we are, I can talk, have been added to this group automatically. Now I know that I want to reclose my grid back down to the right size here that I had it before, and then I can go ahead and take these X bars that would be the top row, and for some reason my mobile is not working now. That's going to make this a real pain. Actually, if I do like this, I use my fixture plus and minus buttons. I can bounce through each one and move it where it needs to go and get it laid out just like my real world would be. Now, as I start to do this, I forget that I want to show you guys some other things in here. If we were to go into our context menu area, remember, since we're using the Titan Go interface, that's on our 4 lines button. Anything else, it would be right about here, just left soft keys B, C, and D. If we click the media options and we choose show video overlay, we can choose from an NDI stream that we have. And I need to actually get what we want up. We can see all the NDI streams that are actually on this network that I have right here, so we can see all the stuff I have set up for OBS to work. But we're going to choose Fixture 0 preview. And then we're going to close this for a quick moment. And then we're going to select our synergy fixture and locate it. And then if we go into our, we'll actually bring up our attribute editor. We see that if we go to our media selection, we can choose from all of our media that are already in our banks and see that it is passed over the thumbnails via similar to CITP, but it does it over TitanNet and runs a lot better than CITP does. So I'm going to choose I'm going to go to the default folder and choose the test pattern. And if I put up capture on the screen at the same time here, we can see that it put the capture, it put the NDI up on my screen on the capture at the same time. So now if I go back into editing this group layout, and I'll just leave this run in here. Actually, we'll just record this as it is in fixture mode, just do a fader here. So if we clear it and bring this fader up, we still have that running. And again, we can see that in the full version of capture. So now if I go back to editing my group layout, so now I'll do group, edit group, choose my synergy layout group, and then edit layout. And we'll zoom it out a little bit here. Now, if I go into my context menu and choose media options and show video overlay, give it a moment, and then choose Fixture 0 preview. And we can see the overlay of that video as it relates to our grid size. If we were to change our grid size, we can see that it scales the video with it also. But I happen to know that this is the grid size that I want, exactly right there. If I was to go ahead and select all of these fixtures, I think I missed one, or a couple actually, and then we were to locate them, and then if we go to our, actually we're going to do, we see how we can lay it out there, but I want to show you this also. So if I go into, if I go and select these fixtures, go to the pixel mapper, so shapes and effects, pixel mapper. If we go to our position, we're going to tilt all these just a little bit here. And go to beam and zoom them as tiny as possible. There we go. Now if we go to create effect, whoops, create effect, and then we hit our plus button down here, and then choose AI. We can choose which fixture we want if we have more than one, which we do, so we're just going to choose fixture 0. And now if I put AI, if I put full capture up at the same time, we can see that it is already projecting the it's already putting the light map of the AI media onto our lights. There, I can talk today. So now if I go back into editing in the group layout here, I can see as I move them in real time that they change. This one needs to be right about here. And we see that it has already changed on capture to have the blue bar in the middle of it, just like it would be in its proper position. Let's re-show that video overlay. Sorry, I'm a little disjointed. That failure has got me all mucked up now, and I hate when that happens. You get thrown off your game and you're not expecting it. We can see how we move this fixture here up on the full version of capture. And actually we'll make capture large there so you can actually see it. You can see that that fixture now has that same blue bar in the middle of it. So if we go ahead and select our next fixture, and we move it on over to where it's supposed to be, which is going to be right about here. Our next fixture, and we do the same. And I'll actually put both back up so you can see that as I move them into place, they automatically change to the correct display for what they should be. Now if I select these ones, they are my bottom row. Oops. So I'll move those, oops, bring them over. Really bumming me out that everything's acting really silly over here now. This one's about like that. And you are going to move all the way over there. Uh-oh, now which fixture are you? There it is. Just got stacked underneath one of its other ones. Oops, wrong spot. There we go. So we can see that on our in our layout that our fixtures are already in the correct spot, and using the test pattern I find is a great way to set this up here for everything. Yes, we can also do the position overlay. I actually haven't used that much, Sam, but that can help you show the position of it by putting your screen fixture on there also. But we've already got, for mine, I kind of already laid it out earlier, but you can help you find everything by using that layout. And you see the cross lines that it puts on there. Once we've got everything positioned, again, to save a group that when you're done with it, just close it. So now I'm going to go ahead and clear what I've got going here and go ahead and drop this playback. Oops, and that was a screen switch. So I guess everyone should have a drink then. So we see here that I just hit clear, so we cleared out our console. Now what's nice about that is another nice thing about Titan that I wanted to show you guys with doing that is I recorded these the other day actually, and all we did was add these fixtures to this group. Well, because Titan automatically adds those other fixtures to the group, or automatically adds them to an effect via the group. If I put both screens up when I fire this playback, and then select the impressions and give them some intensity, we can see that they are already added to, actually we'll just do a locate on them, that they are already added to Titan that quickly. Now I've got them with, I'm going to change my visualizer settings on these and turn off throws light so they're a little easier to see in the onboard capture also. But you can see that it automatically just added them to the to this effect. We simply just had to add in intensity, and that's a nifty little feature of Titan. So now if I wanted to work here permanently, I could just add it to here and merge. If I hit clear, now when I refire this, it works and see it's there. We do the same thing with this one. If we bring it up, and then we select our impression bars and give them some intensity, we can see that they're already working in this effect also. You might be able to see that a little bit bigger in the full screen of the capture there. I've got the throws light shut off on the X4 bars in capture, but have throws light left on the Roby beams to try to make it a little bit better. So now that I've lost my slides, I've got to try to remember exactly where to go next. So I'm going to take a quick moment to get myself caught up and see if you guys have any questions for where we are so far. Doesn't look like we have any questions so far. So now that I've gotten myself hopefully back in my brain realigned here, back with everything, let's go with some other features of it before we start. We'll actually start making some other playbacks using Synergy and Lightmap here. Let's see some of the other features. So we saw everything in the Synergy settings. Let's talk about the media browser. So one of the advantages of the Synergy systems, not just the Lightmap, is being able to add media from your console and not even having to be at your at the media server, which, for me, I do a big show in Denver every year that I'm literally a quarter mile away from where the server is. For the lighting booth to where the server's put is literally a quarter mile walk. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to go back and forth from my server all the time, anytime I'm brought new content, or in a regular setup at a concert. Let's say you've got, this media server set up back of house and your front of house is out there and they've come up with a video last second and say, hey, can you put this in? Well, we can do that if we do open workspace window, and then we find media browser. We can see here we're presented with the different drives. I can see the C drive of my computer here, as well as this thumb drive, which I already have inserted, which magically happens to have some media already on it. So as we can see here, I can navigate deeper if I needed to. And then over on the left half of the window, I can see what servers I have. If I had more than one, they would appear here. In this case, we've only got Cato Vision. Then we can select it, and we can select where we want it. It's telling us where the media is going to go, which is the M drive, which is how I have it set in AI to do, so store it to my M drive. If we go to, I can choose which bank I want to put it on, so I can put it in either on the default media or any of the other ones I already have existing here. Or I can create a new one, and we can name it, and we'll call it New Stuff, just for being very creative at the moment. So we hit Add Bank, and we can see that now in our choice of banks, we have a new one called New Stuff. And if we look on our AI screen, which should be able to pull that up here, we'll see that now it has a new media bank called New Stuff that is currently blank. So if we go back to our Titan mobile, we can see that there's nothing in the Titan blank there. So I can now select everything that I want and then tell it to upload to this new bank. And it's going to take these files and shoot them across the network. So I don't even have to, don't even have to go all the way to the server. It's just going to upload them straight across. We can see here that, oops, I'm going to let that go a little quickly because they weren't very large files. Actually, here we'll cheat and do it on we'll add a second new bank. Let's call it 2. And we're going to upload this stuff a second time so I can talk about a couple little things in there. And we'll choose all the same media again, tell it to upload it to this bank. See here we got bandwidth saver, so we can turn it on or off to use lower bandwidth. You've also got the auto transcode on or off. It is set up so that Titan will automatically, that AI will automatically transcode your files into the AIM codec, which works best for AI and makes it pretty handy here. After you uploaded them, if you go into your, go to our Synergy fixture, go to our Synergy fixture and then bring up our attribute editor. If we go to our media selection and change to our new stuff bank, we can see that it is already, it doesn't want to transcode those two. We can see that it's waiting to transcode these, and it has already transcoded these ones, and for some reason it's giving me a red X on those ones. Apparently it doesn't like the format of those particular ones. I should have tested those in a dump across. I don't know why AI is being silly about it. We'll have to ask the AI boys. But we can see this already added them here and cross encoded them for me. And they're now, as soon as they're like that, they are ready to play. So if we were go ahead and locate this fixture. And then if we go to our new stuff bank, and if we put up the full version of Capture so you guys can also see it, we can see that it is now playing on there. And actually here we'll do that. So now we can have AI and Titan all at the same time. If we went to this media, we can see that it will start playing it straight away also. Probably not the best one here for it. Kind of a bummer. This one will work well for a light map, but the other ones want to play it all? No, I didn't think so. I don't know why those ones didn't cross encode. I'll have to take another look at why. But you can see that it just automatically adds it up there and puts it pretty nifty to be able to handle it without having to go all the way to your media server to start to put clips up on the server. You can just do it straight from your console, which is a pretty handy little feature. I wouldn't clear that for the moment. Give me one moment to see if there's any questions, and then we'll move on to the next little part of it. Since I'm not seeing anything, we'll keep it on. One of the other added features that you get with the version 12 and the Synergy feature set version 12 and higher is a video multi-view. So if I go ahead and bring that up, we can see that it gives me different sources I have for NDI. If I go to my context menu, I can change how the view it presents me. I could choose this one and have some small ones, and oops, didn't want to do that yet. Some small ones across the top as well as a main one down here. Now, I can also have it show the titles or not, so you can see what fixture or which what that NDI stream that is coming in from is. So if I was to choose this one here, I could choose my NDI Fixture 0 preview. I can set this one to be my layer 1 preview. Set this one to be my layer 2 preview, which currently has nothing on it. What's nice about this is that this multi-viewer doesn't care what the NDI sources come from. So like we've got our my full stream from the full version of Capture is being sent over NDI. Is how I'm getting it into OBS to show it to all of you. I could actually put it in here. Also, I could put it here if I wanted to. Whoops, wrong one. I meant this one. And we see that the full version of Capture is now showing on my console through NDI. It's kind of a nifty little thing, so it doesn't care what the NDI source is. Say you had an NDI camera on your show, you could use that and have the camera preview on here. If I wanted to, let's go ahead and let's go to our Synergy settings, and oops, close that, and go to our Synergy fixtures, and we'll select layer 2, and we're going to locate it and just put it on a random clip here, just so there's something on it. I like that one. So now if we reopen our video multi-view and give it a moment. We can see that our layer 2 preview is now shown there, and we can put that down here if we wanted to instead, or have just our output of what's going out to our actual screens, which right now is nothing. But if we were to put this up and then close that. We'll do this group. And we'll sort of this layout, select this fixture and locate it. And I always like the circuit ones. We can see that it is showing on our screen there. We open up our multi-viewer again. Doesn't help this poor laptop's a little on the slower side. But then we have it there. Another thing nice about using an AI or any media server, but particularly AI, since that's what we're talking about today, is once we have control of it, we can do anything we want to it. If we go to say that I didn't want these to be scrolling around in white for this particular one, I could go to color and I could adjust the red, green, and blue values and drop them to 0 and have it be red instead, or drop the 0 out and make them green. As well as I could control the position of the layer, and I can even add shapes and effects. So if I was to do shapes and effects, shape generator, create, pan tilt, circle, we can see that the layer is now moving around in a circle on a position effect. So if I wanted to, I could just leave this in the program, or I could record it to a playback if I wanted. But then I could also add this to, I could add fixtures in to light map. So if I selected my layout that we did a little bit ago, and then I do shapes and effects, pixel mapper, and then create effect, hit my plus button down here, choose AI, and fixture 0, and hit my black hole sun button, of course, as always. We can see that I can now play that this video is playing on my lights, and it is a lovely green just to annoy Sam, and we are in the Matrix now. If I go ahead and set the color back to, we'll go ahead and set the, we'll take our synergy layer, we'll set its colors. So make it back to normal colors for that. If we change our clip at any time, it will change what is going on our light map immediately without any real fuss or muss. So we can change the video at any time. We can even go to that new stuff bank and choose that video that we imported earlier. We saw that it was no fuss and no muss to make that put it straight on there straight away. So pretty easy overall. Let's see, is there any questions for where we're at? I think I've covered most of the stuff that there is to talk about in Synergy here. Not seeing any questions yet, but please feel free to ask them. Also, the other thing nice about with Lightmap and Synergy, there were ways to do this in the past, but you had to do it with ArtNet merges, and it was a serious pain in the butt to set up. One of the nice things is we don't give up any actual control of the fixtures. So like if I was to select these fixtures, and I could go into shapes and effects, shape generator, create, pan tilt, and we'll just put a circle on these also. And then we'll adjust a wicked spread on it, since there's a whole bunch of fixtures here. And see that it is panning and tilting our fixtures just as it would in any other situations. We didn't give up any control of our fixtures at all. That's actually a little high on that one. Probably get more like that for the spread. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. And if we're going, actually, let's do this. Let's do direction, and then like this. Actually, get some monkeyness going. Yeah, there we go. So we can see how it changed up everything so quickly. Sam says that would look nice if you use the rotate clip attribute swirly spinny thing. Yes, yes, yes. It would. It would. We can always select this and just change which clip we're using. Let's see here. I always like the neon. Actually, let's bring up our effect or attribute editor. We can do that nice little neon type ones. Reminds me of the old Windows screensaver. Or we can do this one. So, please ask some questions, guys. Let's work with me here. Help me. Help me learn. Help you guys learn. There you go. And removed the circle from the AI layer. So now it's just playing the video itself. Well, since we don't seem to have any questions on this today, I think I've covered pretty much all the features that I want to try and cover with this today. I think that we will go ahead and call it a day on this one. So with that, like I said, we'll go ahead and call it a day for today. As always, we can find the training events that we're going to be doing for the that I'll be doing in the afternoon on the avolites.us/trainingevents.html. This video will be uploaded to the Avolites USA Facebook page, or excuse me, YouTube, which is the center one of these three addresses up on here, as well as you can find tutorial videos on the Avolites Viz page for YouTube. And you can also find everything that the UK is doing on, which I think might be, oh no, that's just that one, sorry, on avolites.com/online resources to find out what the UK is doing. I believe tomorrow Sam is doing another video, and I think I'm going to join him in the morning. We'll cover some more stuff on Synergy and be there to help you guys learn even more. So with that, I will hope to see you all tomorrow morning, and thanks for coming and joining us for today.
Wheel stop.
Roger, wheel stop, Discovery. Welcome back. A great ending to the new beginning.